Tortuga 1667 is a piratey, team-based, and hidden roles game released in 2017 and designed by Travis Hancock, with art by Holly Hancock and Sarah Keel. The goal is to be the team with the most treasure in the end. But are you sure who's on your team? To set up, place the playmat in the middle of the table with the orange explosion token nearby. Assemble the loyalty deck using a combination of British, French, and other cards based on player count. Shuffle this deck and deal 1 card to each player. These are kept secret from the other players, storing them in the envelopes. Shuffle the vote cards and deal 3 face down to each player, leaving the remaining deck nearby. Shuffle the event cards, making sure to place the Spanish Armada card on the bottom of that deck. Place it next to the mat and draw 5 cards face down into a row. Place the 8 treasure tokens as such. 4 on the Spanish Galleon, 1 in the British hold of the Flying Dutchman, 1 in the French hold of the Jolly Roger, and 1 each in the holds on Tortuga. Each player chooses a character card and takes the corresponding pawn, placing them in the bag. They are drawn 1 at a time and placed on alternating ship spaces, starting with the captain space and the Flying Dutchman. The captain of the Jolly Roger will start the game. In Tortuga 1667, players are attacking, brawling, and mutinying? Sure. Their way to a hold full of treasure as 17th century Pirates of the Caribbean. Feel free to hum the theme song. You know the one. The game is played over a variable number of player turns, where the active player will take 1 action, followed by the next player in clockwise order. The actions available vary based on the position of the player's pawn. All players, regardless of role, have the options of secretly viewing 2 event cards, revealing 1 event card and resolving it, forcing another player to reveal and resolve 1 of 2 event cards, or moving between a ship or the island and the rowboats. Resolved event cards are replaced with a new face-down card. Moving to the island or one of the ships sends the player to the back of that line. The front of the line on the ships has the role of captain, and may instead, as their action, call for an attack to attempt to take treasure from the Spanish Galleon, or another ship, or maroon a crewmate to Tortuga. The front of the line on Tortuga is the governor, and their special action is calling for a brawl to attempt to reallocate the treasure in the island holds. The second position for all locations is the first mate, and they may instead call for a mutiny to maroon their captain on Tortuga, or send the governor to the back of the line. The back of the line on the ships is the cabin boy, and their special action is moving 1 treasure from 1 hold to another. Attacks, brawls, and mutinies are all types of votes, which is where the vote cards come into play. Whenever one is called, all players at that location must participate by putting 1 to 3 of their cards each face down into a pile. The card from the top of the vote deck is added, and the pile is then shuffled and revealed. For attacks, the top card of the event deck is discarded, and then the top section of the vote cards needs at least 1 cannon and 1 uncancelled torch, each water cancelling 1 torch, to succeed. For the brawls, the middle section is used, and the hold with the majority of flags gets both treasures, with the tie splitting them up. For mutinies, if the bottom of the card show a number of skulls equal to or greater than the number of helms, the mutiny is successful. The game can end in a few ways. If the Spanish Armada event is revealed, the game ends, and the team with the most treasure in their holds wins. Otherwise, if there are ever 6 total treasures across one team's holds, that team wins immediately. The Dutch, Spanish, and Mermaid players, whichever one or ones are in the game, have unique win conditions and can steal a sure thing from the other teams. Careful who you trust. At present, this is the last of the Dark Cities games that I own. I did back Rome XLI with eager anticipation, with it also being the one I've played the least of. Which is weird when you consider that this is a hidden roles game, and I love those. And pirates! And I love those too! I have no excuse for why it hasn't gotten to the table more, apart from my ever-expanding collection. Do we accept this and move on? Or do we fight for what's rightfully ours by the law of the sea, taming her swells and her shallows with the salt air stinging our face and a shanty in our ears? And at the end of it all, I may be, without a doubt, the worst pirate you've ever heard of. But you have heard of me. I'm always game. Pick up your bows and load up the cannon for the 21 guns to load. For those about to rock.